everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today I'm taking a look at a trading card game called Cookie Run Braverse. This is based on a popular IP, at least I found out that it was popular. My daughter plays a video game of Cookie Run. So I got the starting decks, the red, the green, the blue, the purple, and the yellow, these starting decks, and tried it out. This is a game in which you have a bunch of cookies fighting other cookies for unknown reasons, and you're trying to break a bunch of your opponent's cookies. Here's how it plays. Each player is going to have their own deck made up, and the 6 starter decks I have were each their own color. You can see the color here at the bottom. This is a red color. Now, much of your deck is made up of cookies. Each cookie has a level, a certain number of hit points, a special ability that they can do. And 15 cards in your deck can have this flip ability, which is really written small. You can see here the print on all this stuff is very hard to see. So there's all kinds of different ones. This is a level 3 cherry blossom cookie. Here's a level 2 with 3 hit points. Now when you play a cookie in front of you, so let's say I start with this carrot cookie, which doesn't sound that delicious, and I play this in front of me, I'm also going to take a card from my deck and put it underneath it to show how many hit points it has. At any given point, you can have up to 2 of these cookies in front of you. And there's no cost to having them out there, because having them out there is dangerous. When you take out your opponent's cookies, knock them out, break them, I guess, they're going to be sent to the break area here. And if you get 10 or more levels of breakage in your opponent's area, then you will win. So the first thing that happens at the beginning of each phase is all your cards that have been activated, they become active. So this is just another way for saying tap and untap. Any card that's turned sideways will come back up. And that includes cards in your support area. The next thing you'll do is you'll draw 2 cards from the deck, and then you can put a card in your area as a support area. Nothing else really matters on it. It's just the color here, and you're going to be able to use these colors to do special abilities with your character. Like, for example, this one can use 2 of any color to do 1 damage. This one does 1 damage. Whenever your cookies take damage, the damage is discarded. But if you ever discard a card that has a flip ability on it, you'll do what it says. So this one here says, discard a card, the cookie with this card attached for hit points gains an extra hit point. And so things like that can happen. And there are more than just cookie cards in the deck. There's also traps, which are basically cards you can play in your opponent's turn. There are stages, which you'll put in your stage area. They cost a certain amount to put out, and then you can activate them. Here you can select up to one of your cookies, and during this turn, that cookie gets +1 attack damage. And so there's also items. Select one of your cookies. During this turn, that cookie gains +1 attack. These are kind of like traps, but you play them on your own turn. There's a pepperoncini cookie. That's a level 3 with 6 hit points and can do 3 damage. Now I'm showing you the red deck here, but each of the decks has a lot of similarities to it, with pretty gross sounding cookies like an onion cookie or a chili pepper cookie to a blackberry cookie. And each color has different cookies, although you'll notice there's a lot of the same style cookies. A 1-1, that does 1 damage. A 2-3 does 1 damage, but any color can activate it. You do need to make sure that at any given point you have enough cookies to play. If your cookies are taken out and you have no cookies to put out there, you will lose. Otherwise, you will lose if you have 10 levels or more of cookies in your break area. Now, it's a little difficult for me to judge the entire trading card game on these starter decks, although I think it should be, right? When you buy a starter deck, that starter deck better be interesting to play. Let's compare it to some other recent starter decks that came out. Altered, Star Wars Unlimited. Those are interesting. Lorcana, they're interesting decks of starter decks, but there are better cards in the vast pool of cards. Well, I went and looked at the other cards, because the one thing that was confusing me playing this is I was like, why would I got red cards, green cards, blue cards, but they all feel very similar. There's minor differences, like yellow seemed to have more damage than it did. One felt like it had more hit points, maybe, but they're pretty similar. So why would I ever put these cookies in my deck that do take any 2 colors? It's because there's all kinds of neat, unusual cookies that are in the set that are cards you get from packs. And while I think that there should be probably better cards in packs than in these starter decks, the starter decks need to be a stronger, more interesting thing, and these are not. There's also, the rules are written very simply. They're not completely easy. Trading card games, the rules are never very easy to understand. And they usually are full of tiny text, and these cards have tiny text on them and things like that. For some reason, they just assume that that's the way it always has been done, and that's the way it always should be done. It's mind-blowing to me. You're never going to really run out of resources. You're drawing 2 cards. You put one down as a resource. You tap that resource to put things out into play. This is the general course of things. This is kind of halfway between the Star Wars Unlimited, Lorcana, and Magic the Gathering, having the different colors out there, but you always have these cards in your hand, and being able to use any card for that is interesting. The game itself, to me, feels most like Pokemon, where you have cookies out there, and instead of having one Pokemon with abilities and you're fighting another Pokemon and you switch them out, here you can have 2 cookies at any given point in time. But almost every cookie has one ability to fight back and forth, and that's usually do a damage. And that's the problem with this game, Cookie Run, is it's boring. You're just putting it out, doing damage, taking the damage back. Whereas the unique things, that again, maybe there's part of it in deck building, but I need to know that the game itself is good. I'm not against trading card games. One of my favorite games right now is Star Wars Unlimited. I love it. I have so much fun. I like building decks and things with it, but I also love the base decks. It's an interesting back and forth game. This game is not interesting. The idea of a cookie being a higher level cookie, more powerful, harder to kill, but if it does get killed, gives your opponent more points, I'm on board with that. The flip abilities, even though they're all the same, that idea of flipping cards over is interesting, although it just leads to some, hey, you thought you killed this cookie, but no, he got a hit point back, so we're just going to drag this game out a little more. There's nothing there that grips it back. I played this with my 11-year-old son, and he thought it was too basic and simple. And again, I went online and looked, partially because there was a symbol on some of the cards, and I couldn't figure out what it meant. And it was just an attack symbol, but it took me the longest time to find it out. The comprehensive for this rulebook for this game online has no pictures. It's not good at all, in my opinion. It's too basic. Ha ha ha, it's about cookies fighting each other. I like that idea, but I need something more. In a world that has Magic the Gathering, the king of trading card games, but also has easier games like Pokemon, Lorcana, things like that, how does this stand out? What's unique about it? And I don't think there's enough here. So for me, this is a 5 out of 10. I wanted to love the concept, but unfortunately, not one I'm going to recommend. Cookie Run Braverse, the trading card game. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.